Everyone has probably wished to be popular with the opposite gender at some point. As someone calls him out, a girl's gate seems quite cozy with him, saying, "Why don't we have some tea with just me for a little while, okay?" He thinks, "I'm sorry, but I never wanted this situation." She says, no matter how many times they refuse, they won't refuse me or give up on me. "I'm going to be late. I'm in a real hurry," he says, but she responds, "Then at least give me your contact info." As she tries to get his phone, a girl grabs him from behind and squeezes his hand, saying, "Class is about to start. Let's go." She pulls the man out of trouble. The woman there says, "Hey, wait a second." The main character thinks, is this way of escaping a bit rude? The girl gives quite an angry reaction to the main character, and he is quite scared. "I told you already. You could just ignore those kinds of things," she says to the main character, whose name is Masato. She continues, "Masato, that's because you're nice. Ignoring people is harder than it seems. That's what makes me so worried about you sometimes." He thinks, I don't think that's something you say to a college guy, but in this world, Komoi is probably right. The truth is that I was transported to this world last month. At first, I didn't notice because it was too similar to my previous world, but it seems this world has an extremely skewed gender ratio. 1 to 5. I don't know why there's such a big difference, but maybe because of this, women in this world are truly assertive. Apparently, there has even been talk of introducing polygamy to society recently. When I realized I was in an unfamiliar place and understood I had come to another world, it was horrifying. Truly, I had friends, went to school, and laughed off silly things. It wasn't until I lost that normal life that I realized just how precious it was. I thought I had to give up on being ordinary. I met someone who supported me as a guardian, and I even made friends who helped me when I was in trouble. I ended up being transported without any understanding of why. But even so, I met such kind people. And what's more, as someone calls him, thanks to the skewed gender ratio, even a beautiful girl like her is paying attention to me. In my previous life, that would have been impossible. Maybe I'm just lucky out of this world. Thinking like that, I was able to stay positive thanks to the people of this world. The world has changed, but I will just live like normal. In this way, the girl herself smiles, looking toward the main character. She thinks, I never realized how simple-minded I really was. 1 week ago, she was walking, thinking, I overdid it yesterday, really. The first fantasy online game that I was playing, those so-called princesses are so annoying. Don't come into the game just to get fawned over. The classroom for the first period is what's on her mind when two voices talk about her, saying she's actually pretty, about 85 points, so she just barely makes the cut. If she asked, I might consider dating her. The girl stormed off, thinking, seriously, why are men so arrogant? She had quite a bit of anger. Fawn over her? They don't even make any special effort. They don't even have something particularly exceptional. I know that we still have the right to choose. It's always been that debate. Those words repeated over and over. I guess I would date you if you want. Be grateful that I'm even talking to you. I'll be your friend. Want me to be your friend? That's just unacceptable. But as she sees someone falling over, a boy says, sorry about that. No, it's just me. Did you fall in love with me at first sight? If you want, I could make you my third girlfriend. The man, a prince, horrifies her out of her wits. As she screams, men are so. In the classroom, she bangs her head on the table. Her friend, seeing what's wrong, says, you won't make it through until the 5th grade at this rate. I don't think I can make it. You won't be popular like that, Komoi. We have to push through for the campus life we dreamed of. She shows enthusiasm, her eyes sparkling, saying, gotta catch a handsome guy. That's just unacceptable, the girl thinks, but she's sure it's her thinking that this was normal. Men are rare. Men are vulnerable. They are in the position to choose, even under those sharp, scrutinizing gazes. Komoi, who are you aiming for in the club? The girl asks. She couldn't understand. The two of them are in the badminton club. The black-haired girl says, come on, don't you have someone you're interested in? I don't think so. I haven't had anyone right now. No way. Isn't Keith or Sand pretty handsome? She says. Yes, I guess, but that's not it. I don't want to perform. It's just that I got a bit tired of always being in the position to be chosen. For example, a guy who is kind to women, treats them equally, and has a clean appearance. If there was someone like that, I wonder, It's such a luxury, like something out of a fairy tale. The black-haired girl teases, Kumoy, you're so cute, but you're surprisingly not very aggressive. If you don't go after them more, you'll end up single. Yeah, that's probably true, she thinks. Even she thinks so. A girl like me who doesn't make any effort to be chosen will surely end up alone. Yes, she sees something on her mobile. It looks like the class was canceled. There's no one around with free time. As she leaves, she thinks, I don't have anything to do. I really have no choice which class to take. The main character was sitting, pining over there. It's over. He was quite distressed. As the girl looks toward him, thinking he looks like he's in trouble, but there's no one else around, she wonders, if there were other girls, someone would help him out anyway. It's certainly stressful when people repay kindness with attitude, but leaving him alone feels wrong. Those furrowed brows as she looks toward him make her think, I wonder why there's something about him that feels different from other males. Do I think he's handsome? Yeah, but he's not celebrity level or anything. It doesn't seem like it's just appearance. It's like he's shining from within. What kind of feeling is that? She gulps, thinking, I'm not expecting anything. I'm just a little curious, that's all. The main character looks toward her as she says, Are you, by chance, trying to register for a course? The main character says, Oh yes, I am. He explains, For certain reasons, my enrollment process got delayed. She was blushing as the main character talked with her. She thinks, do men even smile so naturally like this? She had quite the distress over her head as she says, If you like, I can help you out. Oh no, I stuttered. It wouldn't be strange if he found that really creepy. Thinking about it calmly, this might seem like I'm hitting on him. He's probably put off, but the main character smiles and blushes charmingly, saying, Is that okay? That would really help me out. She herself was quite confused as she blushes, saying, He's not put off? What's with that pure smile? He says, I'm in the department, pointing it out on his laptop. She thinks, why is he moving? What does that mean? I can sit next to him. We're still talking. So does that mean he agreed? Am I misunderstanding this? What if I sat down and he ended up being totally freaked out? If he is, I might actually cry. At my age, crying in public? A crazy girl is about to be born here. She thinks to herself as the main character asks her, What's wrong? She says, No, it's nothing. We're in the same department and faculty, really. It's such a huge help to be assisted by a direct senior. She says, Oh, sorry, I'm a freshman too. He was quite astounded by this, but she thinks it's over. Was it too bold to be a freshman to offer help? Did he think I had ulterior motives? No, that's not it. I was just a bit cautious and wanted to get to know you. It wasn't like that. I only thought a little about how cute he is smiling now. He's going to think I'm full of myself and make fun of me. The main character says, So, you're a freshman too? He smiles, saying, I don't have any friends in my year. You really are helping me out. He introduces himself as Kata Masato and asks for her name. Looking toward him, she thinks, kind, friendly. He really is different. This person is young. This person is calm. As she thinks, no more embarrassing myself, she puts on a smile, introducing herself as Igarashi Komoi and then blushingly says, Nice to meet you. She thinks, I was smiling properly, right? As he says, Got it right away, but I seriously don't know which class to take, really. His schedule is completely blank. She thinks, this is an opportunity. I sort of figured out which ones are quiet, though we're in the same department and faculty, right? Then wouldn't it be fine to take all the classes as we want to work together? Then we'd be in the same class every day, Igarashi-san. The main character says as her heart skips a beat. She joins her hands as she thinks, If you like, I was thinking we could have the same schedule. I mean, some of the classes have already had 2 sessions, and since I'm already in them, I can explain things and share their handouts, so it could be beneficial. Whoa, that was fast talking. That was creepy. Having to meet the same girl every day would be torture. She thinks, but the main character says to her, Could it be that you're a genius? She was quite startled by this question, as she wasn't really thinking about that. That really helped, but are you sure? Isn't there almost no benefit for you in this? No. There's a ton of benefit, she says. She thinks, why doesn't he suspect anything? Why doesn't he laugh and say, Are you trying to get close to me? Really? If you say so, could it be fine if I see your schedule then? Yeah. Is this just a convenient dream? She thinks as the main character blushes and says, Wow, you really helped me out. Thank you so much. She says, I didn't do much. The main character says, All right, I'm heading home for now. My student ID hasn't arrived yet, so attending classes is pointless right now. She says, Okay, then thinks in her mind, This was the first time I ever had so much fun talking to a man. From now on, I'll get to see him every day. As the main character blushes and says, Oh, can I ask you for a favor then? She couldn't understand what he was going to say, but he says, If it's all right with you, could you be my friend? As he gives that smile, this blush makes the girl lose her wits. She thinks, the choice was always of the man. I guess I could date you if you want. I'll be your friend. Want me to be your friend? Be grateful that I'm even thinking about you to be the one who is chosen. She says, Of course. The main character thinks, Great, thanks. I didn't have a single friend up until now. Thanks to you, I'm starting to look forward to the university now. See you later. As we observe, the main character goes and she drops to her knees, thinking, I can't. This is like he's a prince. He's exactly what I imagined. Everything from his personality to his, she thinks, I'll never let him go. As we return to the present, the girl thinks to herself, if I don't keep an eye on him, girls will immediately flock to him. He's way too obvious with it. She thinks, well, that's one of Misato's good points too. What's wrong? The main character says, It's nothing, Komoi. Can you hold out your hand for a second? She does that, and the main character gives her some candy. She didn't understand what it was, but he says, A little thank you for earlier. Sorry, it's just a snack, but thanks for helping me out, Komoi. Her heart flutters, and the main character says, Huh, did you say something? Well, she says, Nothing. Let's go. He really is an unfair person, she thinks. He does the things I wish someone would do for me. And then, at moments like this, he surpasses me with acts of kindness that really save me. It's still difficult for me now, but one day I'll definitely become this person's girlfriend.